Your Houston Morning News with Matt Patrick continues.
KTRH News Time is 8:46, and joining us right now, one of the 26 attorneys general who filed a lawsuit in federal court that will now be heard by the Supreme Court of the United States. Attorney General of Texas, Greg Abbott, joining us. You've got to feel pretty good, Attorney General, about the fact that we've made it to the Supreme Court.
Well, it's good to be back on your show, but also it's good to be going to the United States Supreme Court. When we filed this lawsuit, first of all, we were ridiculed by Nancy Pelosi and others, saying that there was no chance the lawsuit would get anywhere. But our goal all along was to get it to the U.S. Supreme Court, let the highest court in the land decide such an important issue. And think about this. I don't know if you noticed, but when they announced they were taking the case, they allotted 5.5 hours for oral argument. Almost always, the arguments are limited to just 1 hour.
Wow.
So this is a big deal.
So we've been talking about this morning. You've got 4 Supreme Court justices, very liberal. You've got 4 constitutionalists. Then you've got Supreme Court Justice Kennedy. I believe he will be the deciding vote.
I agree, and the good news is that the issue in this case is whether or not Congress exceeded its authority under the Commerce Clause. Twice in the past 16 years, Justice Kennedy has voted to strike down a law by Congress as exceeding its authority under the Commerce Clause. So if he holds true to that pattern, we have a very good chance of winning.
Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott joining us this morning. They knocked down the individual mandate. They've also got to decide severability as well of this thing. In other words, without the mandate, this thing can't stand because you can't pay for it.
Well, that's exactly what Obama's lawyers conceded in the oral argument at the Court of Appeals. Quickly, severability would mean that if one part of the law is ruled unconstitutional, the issue is whether or not that illegal part is removed or severed out from the remainder of the law. And to be honest, I think the issue is what you would call an academic one or theoretical one because, as I just mentioned, the Obama administration has conceded that without the individual mandate that forces all Americans to go out and purchase health insurance, the funding mechanism of the law would not be there, and as a result, the law could not stand.
All right. Attorney General Greg Abbott joining us this morning. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a very, very busy man today. You've got to feel good about the fact that we are finally going to get this thing heard in the highest court in the land. And I know both you and I believe and pray that this thing will finally be struck down and we can be done with it. And I'm looking forward to having you back when all is said and done in June and we can move past all this.
We'll be back.
Thank you very much, Attorney General Greg Abbott.